welcome everybody to another episode of Providence Lucha Talk. This is Luisito,
Yeah, Aguila.
and we're here to talk about wrestling, NXT, a little bit AW. I know today is Thursday, and everything that's going on, basketball and stuff. AW is tonight, so we might give you a little preview of what's happening today. But yeah, that's our show for today. But
And before we start too, we definitely, even though we're doing a pre-recorded show, but we still stand and support the against police brutality. A lot of the basketball, baseball games, even today's Thursday, even the hockey games have been postponed for us to be able to finally try to make a sense of police brutality and prayer for Jacob Blake, who is currently in a critical condition, and hoping that he fully recover.
yeah, definitely.
As well as you could definitely follow the Providence Lucha Talk at Insta, Facebook, YouTube, as well as the Twitter account, Providence Lucha Talk, as well listen to our audio content on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. So even though other sports entertainment has been on pause, I believe NXT was what, pre-recorded, or do you think it was live?
I think it was live because either way it wouldn't make a difference. But that's basically we saw the after effects of what happened from NXT Takeover 30.
Right. Okay. So I mean, it is what it is. I don't think Vince is the type of guy, or Triple H is a person who's willing to sacrifice business at this moment, even though I think they do believe in the community and believe in Black Lives Matters. I guess they still had a job to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I one thing I want to comment is that I believe that we might see more of an impact change if only if big stars in different sports organization are willing to make a big sacrifice. And the type of sacrifice I'm talking about is like their sponsorship.
Okay,
You know,
yeah.
I believe some of the stars, because of their contract, are not able to speak as freely as they want to be.
Yeah.
But I believe if they, did took a big stand on that, I believe that's going to make even a bigger impact for them, people to take this more seriously, because it influenced people. You know what I'm saying?
And also kind of like adding to that, I feel like Vince, what I've seen through my eyes, I think he's letting the performers wear different things to bring awareness. I know a couple of wrestlers have the armrest, the Black Lives Matter, and some other ones. So they bring awareness in their way. But also, like you mentioned, because of sponsors and stuff, business. So they're manifesting in different ways, but also bringing awareness to in the way that they think this seem fit to them.
Yeah, I mean, again, I believe companies like big sneaker company, big, products that are out there definitely have people chain. And you guys should know who I'm referring to in the NBA, in the baseball, in the hockey, especially hockey. Listen, my dude, when I found out that hockey postponed the playoff, I was like, hey, they're slowly trying to get like, we need change. That's all we want is change. We want a fairness of justice. And this is not our podcast is not really about what's going on now, but again, things that happen around the world does impact our community, and wrestling is our community as well. You know what I'm saying? And it's something that I'm hoping, again, Jacob Blake, full recovery, justice, of course, for what occurred to him, as well for Brenda Taylor. I mean,
and everybody else. Well, I know it's a long list of people. So.
Long list of people, but those are still a few of the top ones that we're still waiting for justice, if that makes sense. So, with that being said, wrestling still did what they did. You know what I'm saying? As Luisito comment, wrestlers were still able to wear certain attire to hope and protest in a soft protest against the unjust But let's just do a quick rundown of what occurred, and then we'll go with our topic of the day, which is keep 3, lose 1. It should be a fun one. So here we go. So show started with Karrion Kross being relinquished of the NXT Championship. Seems that his injury is similar to the one to Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
The NXT Heavyweight Championship is now vacant, but big surprise was announced during the show. Breezango finally won a championship, tag team championship versus the Imperium. A lot of respect. Tyler Breeze is now a 2-time 2-belt champion. Remember that. Left, right, left, right.
True. So, would
so
that be considered? So, hold on. I kind of side note. So, if Kofi Kingston a real grand, did he ever hold up, down championship? So he'd be really a Grand Slam. Wow, that's crazy.
Like in your argument, he kind of is. But
But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, sorry.
But good question. I think this is now the second up, down in wrestling champion in the up, down universe. So kudos to him. Tommaso Ciampa defeat Jake Alex and gave him a hell of a beatdown at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Mia Yim defeat Blackheart. Okay.
No, it was the opposite. Shotzi Blackheart defeated Mia Yim. At the end, Shotzi Blackheart basically took the place for Mercedes Martinez. She was supposed to face Mia Yim, but Shotzi Blackheart came victorious at the end.
Oh, wow. So
yeah,
somebody made a typo on this.
Yeah.
And William Regal announced something that I think may occur in a different show, but for NXT, I think this is the first Fatal 4 one 60-minute Iron Man match against these names. And if you don't know them, well, you're about to. We got Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, Bebe, and
the Prince
Finn Balor for the NXT Heavyweight Championship for the vacancy. As well, we're going to have a 6-man tag team match. Breezango and Swerve versus, I think, Legado del Fantasma, if my memory serves correctly. So, and this is they're calling it a Mega Tuesday. This is a hell of a show.
Do you think,
hell of a show.
One, why are they switching to Tuesday? And two, do you think Tuesday is going to be their new day because they might be playing, like, there's too much competition on Wednesdays?
Wow, that's a really good question. I'm not sure if they're going to do a 2-part Tuesday, or we don't know. I don't know what's occurring on USA on Wednesday.
Yeah, which is weird because everything, if we think about it, basketball, it's on TNT, so that's why AEW is moving over to different days. All the political stuff, it's CNN, NBC, and all the other political shows. That's not USA. I don't know what's something big that's going on Wednesday on USA, which is kind of weird. I don't think there's any premiere for something. I don't know.
I mean, so far what I'm seeing here is a lot of movies that's going to be premiering. But if it's a marketing strategy, then hey, kudos, because I guess, like I said, the hockey league is in playoff. The NBA is also on playoff. You know what I'm saying? So, and baseball is still current, but they're not in playoff though.
No, true, but sometimes they have double headers, so maybe have like back-to-back games or something.
Yeah. So that's what I believe is the reason why them switching to Tuesday now that basketball is going towards their second round, and then hockey probably are going to the next round too. We're going to see less TV time on Tuesdays. So I guess they're trying to take opportunity. It's a smart move. At the end of the day, it's a smart business move because now you're trying to bring up your number. And if they could get their number up on Tuesday,
which is smart,
that would be a hell of a show. But again, Cross with his injury, speedy recovery.
I think they said it's about 7 months to recover. So
7 months.
That's WrestleMania time. Royal Rumble, if you think about it.
Let's see.
Because we got 4 months until
Yeah, so 4 months to the end of the year, and then 3 months
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's probably close to WrestleMania time.
yeah.
Mm.
So
He's probably
maybe
gonna.
number 13 for Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and I also want to point out Cross is a badass, and this is why. Not because of his injury, speedy recovery, but he told Keith Lee, anything you could do, I could do better,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Keith Lee, I believe he's one of the least holder of the belt to hold the belt, right?
Yeah.
I think like 45 days. Lost it to Cranium Cross. Cross said, you know what? I got this. I'm going to do it in one day. That is incredible. And he's undefeated. That's another crazy part. So Cross definitely told Keith Lee, I'm going to be a better star than you, like no matter what. And seeing them probably have a rematch in maybe WrestleMania time wouldn't be a bad thing. I don't see him going back to NXT. It would be good for NXT, but I think he might just be move up to Raw or Smack. Actually, Raw.
I think if I was WWE, I would keep him in NXT just because you think about it. You have him in the show for 7 months. From here to 7 months, you might do a bunch of call-ups from NXT to the other brands, and NXT is going to be bare. So if you have somebody big like him, like superstar like him, and NXT, and potentially gain back the NXT championship, he could hold it down and kind of be the flagship until maybe SummerSlam or whatever the next cycle is, So it's, I don't know. We'll see what they do with them when he comes back from injury.
Yeah, it's too many options. Again, we also want to give, again, congratulations to the new tag team champion, Breezango. Definitely deserve. I think it's the right call. I felt like it was way overdue. Why are you shaking your head like that?
The story. I feel story-wise, yes. But I feel like the way that they won it, it was just weird. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're going to lose it to El Legado pretty soon after the next time they meet up. The Legado's going to take it. You'll see. Because they try to have Swerve defeat Escobar, and he couldn't. And I think Mendoza and I forgot the other guy's name. He's going to go, and they're going to take the title from them up next. They're going to be the next people up.
I mean, like, that's cute and all, but I feel like Breezango have to rock with the belt for at least 3 months. Give them 90 days before they lose the belt on a takeover or something. But let Breeze finally enjoy a tag team win. When was the last time he ever hold a championship
They
belt?
never won on the main roster, right? They competed, but never.
Because Fandango was like injury prone.
True.
You know what I'm saying? He always had problem with either, I think one time it was around his leg, the other time was like his shoulder. So it was really inconsistent. And kudos for Breeze to still be waiting on his partner. You know what I'm saying? He tried the single run. I was hoping he'd be NXT champion.
Oh, even North American too. Like he.
Oh yeah, North American champion. Excuse me. Didn't happen. I'm really happy that he finally got a belt this time, and maybe this if he does well within the next 3 months, then he could go up to Raw or SmackDown and actually win those belts as well. I feel like if he could get all 3 belts, that's a hell of a career in my personal opinion.
True.
Rumors about the group itself, the Retribution. I think you posted the names, but I also have the link in front of me here too of who could they be. Now, Luisito, give me your insight.
I think yesterday in NXT we had, for my opinion, I think we had 2 people that lost. And I think they were not written off NXT, but I think their loss is leading for them to be revealed at any episode of Raw and SmackDown for Retribution. But I think Mia Yim is one of them. That's why she lost against Shotzi Blackheart. And I think she lost. Yeah. And that's one way to kind of write her off because she was supposed to face Mercedes Martinez, but the Robert Strong brand kind of like vetoed that. He was like, "You're not facing her." Then Shotzi came in. It was a good match, but it was kind of weird having 2 babyface go against each other. But then we also have, I think Jake Atlas might be part of that because he got destroyed by Tommaso Ciampa. So the only way to kind of like get written off TV, that's one way to do it. So maybe he might be part of that. I know another one that it was I guess, allegedly said that Dominic Dijak might be part of that, and also
Jovic.
Dio, oh, this Dio Matters, Dion.
Madden.
He's the one that the commentary that faced off against Brock Lesnar. I don't even remember him. He's the one who was in commentary. He kind of like went to face with Brock Lesnar, and I know the backstory of him. They asked him to do commentary. He was like, "No, I'm going back to the ring," and we haven't seen him on NXT. So I think this might be.
We saw him on Underground.
No, that's a different guy.
He looked like the same guy.
No, that's Baba Tunde.
No, not.
Was he in the crowd? Was he in the crowd, or was he in like participant?
Okay, so on the first episode of Underground, right?
Okay.
There was a scene that the Hurt Business, well, before they announced they were the Hurt Business, right? I think it was either Lashley or Shelton Bill or MVP brought him to the stage and whoop his ass.
Okay, I probably have to go back.
He was the one with the long dreads.
Yeah.
Like if you go and watch that first episode of Underground, he's the one with the dress that got beat up by one of the Hurt Business.
Okay, I have to go back but yeah, so he's might be one of the guys. Same thing. We haven't seen Chelsea Green in a while, so she might be maybe part of that. And I think they said I think Kaden Carter. But for me, that one, that's the least, for me, doesn't make sense because Casey Catanzaro and her are normally a tag team in NXT. So you're weakening the women's division over. I see Miriam and Chelsea Green because I feel like they have evolved and mature enough in NXT to take a role in a faction like this. But we'll see. I don't know. Do you have any other maybe they could think of?
So you definitely got majority that I have listed here. Kaden Carter, Mia Yim, Shane Thorne, Dominique
Dijakovic?
Jovic, Dio Madden, and Chelsea Green. Those are the 6 names that I have here, which again, I feel like it's going to be just like the Warriors, like the underdogs, trying to make a big noise, trying to get the attention. Think of it of Nexus 4.0, think of it of the Shield. Think of any faction that you have seen in Raw or SmackDown. That's that. So it's nothing new to us.
All of those have had a leader or somebody, not a veteran, but somebody that's a spokesperson for the group?
Yep.
Do you think, let's say, the people that we named off, do you think Dijak is going to be the leader, or do you think somebody? For me, I think Kevin Owens might be part of this. And he might be the one either puppeteering either him or Seth Rollins. Because those are the 2 people that haven't gotten attacked by them.
Okay, so I don't think it's Kevin Owens, and I don't think it's Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, I understand with the whole Monday Night Messiah, but this is happening in SmackDown too, so this is way beyond the Messiah. Monday Night Raw, excuse me. I believe it could be either Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Because he, if you remember the first night of the Thunderdome, the Monster and him were in the ring. Retribution showed up. He just waved by and left Braun by himself. You know what I'm saying?
True.
We could say it could have been an escape tactic, or we could say it was just, he might be like leading the squad. Another person who I could believe maybe show more leadership is Roman Reigns. Now, okay. I know it's a little bit far-fetched. I know everybody'd be like, but he's rocking a similar T-shirt as Stone Cold Steve Austin with Wreck Everyone and Leave. Yeah, I know Austin wears a similar shirt, but what if they're finally letting Roman Reigns be a leader of a factor? His promo skill is great. He's a great leader. He's been in NXT. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he could definitely be a great contribution for this buildup of his return. Mm-hmm. Think about it. Retribution started to occur maybe 3 weeks or a month before SummerSlam, and he returned during SummerSlam.
True.
Imagine if he reveals that he is the leader during this next upcoming pay-per-view on Saturday. It kind of like
could be interesting.
I think it could be a good build-up.
Sorry, go ahead.
And for those who said CM Punk, Please know, CM Punk said he would never, ever, 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 ever will do wrestling again in WWE. So
he could be a manager. I don't know. There's still a possibility. I see. I get your point and stuff, but I feel like everybody has a price. Everybody who's left and come back, they come back. Look at Wade Barrett, Stu Bennett. He left and came back.
Ronda Rousey, nearly 15 million.
I feel like everybody has a price. I feel Ronda Rousey will be back, but I feel
she's gonna be back.
Yeah, I feel like everybody has a price. So I feel like everybody
doesn't look. CM Punk, I believe the most reason why he took the Fox contract because it was still doing with what he's passionate about, but he doesn't have to be reporting directly to Vince.
No, true. You know I see your point, but there's other people, for example, like Kevin Nash, Booker T, Kurt Angle, Christian, Chris Jericho, Stu Bennett. Recently, he just came back from commentary. But
Kurt Angle made amends with Vince McMahon. Christian has always been like part of WWE.
But he was in TNA, so he went to the competition and came back.
He came back.
So I feel like everybody has a price.
It's going to be hard for me to believe that CM Punk would easily like sell himself short like that.
Same thing for example, EC3. He was in NXT, left, became a superstar in TNA, came back again, then went back to TNA. So everybody everybody has a price.
But EC3 got play though.
No, true. But you know what I'm saying? Like everybody somehow they seemed the way to come back to WWE, either for money or to kind of not pay back, but just kind of like something. Everybody comes back to WWE. Those who used to work for them. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong, but it could be a conspiracy. Everybody thought he was, for example, CM Punk was never gonna come back. I know he's not working for WWE, but he's associated with WWE. So like, you know what I'm saying? So everybody thought he was gonna AEW, and he's doing the show with WWE. So it's like I don't know. I would just say I'll leave it in the ether and see what happens, but I don't know. It could be a possibility.
It's a great possibility. I think we will have to wait to see who the leader is going to be revealed. Again, if they do it well, like they did with Dark Order, which I'm hoping everybody's enjoying the show right now. I'm hoping that they pick someone really, really good to be the leader of the squad. And I guess I have to pick your brain because it's going to be happening while we're doing recording next week. Out of the Fatal 4-Way Iron Man match, no DQ, who you got?
I got Balor. I feel like you need stability in NXT. And I feel since he was a former Universal, so he has experience, veteran, and I feel like he could go against
one-day champion though.
The same thing with Cross. He was a one-day champion because of injury. If it wasn't because of injury, a lot of history that has happened from that point on, a lot of people would not have become superstars that are now. The Fiend, I don't think he'll be there. Braun, I don't think he'll be there. I don't think Kofi Kingston would have been champion. So him getting injured allowed all the people stories to develop. So we'll see. I don't know. He could be, once again champion. I personally, the only person I don't want to see again is Adam Cole. But any other
three-time champ?
3-time? Wouldn't it be he'd be a 3-time?
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah, no, I feel like his time is not up in NXT, but he's gonna be called up pretty soon. Well, I feel like he accomplished everything that has been accomplished in NXT.
Maybe, but we have not seen a 3-time champion. You know what I'm saying? And for those who watch Up, Up, Down, Down,
and wouldn't Tommaso Ciampa be a 3-time champion?
That would be dope.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Gargano will be 3-time champion too.
Yep.
So the only person that's only 1-time champion, I don't know if he lost it during his stint at NXT, but you know what I'm saying? It's been so long ago that we can't recall it on the spot. But if he did or not, whatever, I wouldn't mind seeing Balor with his new gimmick once again, kind of being the prince, win it again.
So, to my understanding, he lost to Samoa Joe for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Lowell, in Lowell, Massachusetts, he lost the belt during the live show. Then I'm not sure if he got it back during the cage match, but if he did, then he might be contendership for 3-time as well. So,
True.
I mean, these are great pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm hoping it's Adam Cole. And the reason why I say this is because, as we all know, WWE does have their pocket in up, up, down, down. You know what I'm saying? So they have their hands in the pocket of up, up, down, down. So it would be so funny when you watch Tuesday night, the Party Uno game, and Breeze will be a 2-belt champ, right? Mm-hmm. You got Cesaro with the tag team belt, and then Adam Cole with the NXT belt. Yo, left, right is no cool.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, that would be cool to see, but imagine the first game they play after this week, and Adam Cole doesn't win it. So you have Cesaro with a title, you have Breeze with 2 titles, and the other 2 with nothing. And one is a host that he's injured, but you know what I'm saying? How much grief and smack they're gonna talk to Adam Cole when they play? It's gonna be so funny.
I mean, like, it's maybe it won't happen like this following week, but maybe the next following week. Mm-hmm. And again, up, up, down, down guys have been given some content, like the Battle of the Brands. I've been missing it. You know what I'm saying? My Thursday has been like, I've been itching just to see the result of their, I think it was their SummerSlam show. And it got like technical issue. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But guys, if you really listen to Up Up Down Down and you watch some of the Party Uno game, the Battleverse, they look Adam Cole, Big E, Dawkins, Tyler Breeze, Kofi Kingston,
even when
and Cesaro, spitting bars.
And even when they play Risk, it's hilarious. Playing Risk, I saw them play Risk. I'm like, I have to download my own Risk, and I'm like, I have to start playing.
That episode with Risk, yeah. Breeze. Spoiler alert, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
He played all of them. He played them all.
Oh my god, I would love to do a game like that. Like, I really want to play this Risk with like 3 other people and really go at it. Like that game looks so fun.
It is. I played it. It's intense. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but after you get the hang of it, you know, there's a strategy behind it.
I mean, I think I picked it up watching the video, but I guess nothing beat more of a hand-on experience, if that makes sense. All right, so that's us yapping about, the wrestling. Do you have what's going on TNT before we go to the topic?
Not a more kind of the quick card of the TNT. There's the championship contract signing between Moxley and MJF, and also Moxley was named number 1 according to, I think, the PW Insider magazine. That's the number 1 wrestler of this year, which is valid. Then we also have Brody Lee celebrating his victory over Cody. Then we have Lucha Bros versus Lucha Bros, Butcher and the Blade, and Eddie Kingston, which is that's something interesting. He's gonna be in the brain out of the group versus Joey Janela, Sonny Kiss, Brian Pillman Jr., and Griff Garrison. That's a weird match. But then we also have Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara, and we have Big Swole versus Britt Baker
3-on-1,
and Reba, basically 3-on-1. So I hope she becomes successful, but I don't think so, because story might continue all the way to All Out. And we have 2 more. We have Natural Nightmares. So this I think gonna be the match of the night, the Gauntlet one. So whoever wins this goes against the champions at All Out. So it's gonna be
FTR,
a Gauntlet match. So it's gonna be Natural Nightmares versus the Young Bucks, then versus the Best Friends, then versus FTR.
I'm surprised Lucha Bros are not part of it, but I guess because of the story that they're dealing with Eddie Kingston, which that card right there, I could see who's the winner, unless if they try to pull some bullshit once again. Cody Rhodes, Cody, I believe he would not be in the ring because of I guess he just needs some time to himself to recover.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's gonna be helping out with the heels section of like HEEL heels, not like bad guys. Section of AEW, and I think he kind of wants some, like you mentioned, some time to recover, which is good. But I feel like if you should be able to do multiple things, but I feel like now he's only focused on one thing at a time, so he's gonna give 100% of his attention to it. So I think he might help out promote and market that section of AEW. So maybe we get more talent or more merchandising for that sector,
which is needed for AEW. I'm really, again, FTR is definitely the most favorable pick for All Out to go against Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. My personal opinion. Who's going to be against Brody Lee? God, I'm hoping, honestly,
JTG.
Task Stable.
I wouldn't mind JTG. JTG would be good. Maybe somebody from NWA. Who knows? We could see. Remember
Brian Cage. Brian Cage or Tony Stark against Brody Lee just to start it up.
But I feel like they have something with Darby Allin. So I feel like you don't want to mix too many stories in there. So he might probably get a couple of jobbers in between. But I think we might, since I feel like there's going to be a collaborative between AEW and NWA, we might see some people transition over. I feel like a person, I don't know if you follow NWA too much, but I know he changed his name. But Damian Sandow, he is an NWA. Yeah, so he's a serious comedy person. He has got the mid-card title, the television championship, and he has a guy called the Question Mark. Hilarious. But I wouldn't mind seeing him against Brody Lee, kind of serious and comedy going against each other. Or maybe JTG, or even he is known Mil Muertes. He used to be Lucha Underground. He's been kind of like trying to get into AEW, but I don't know why they haven't signed him, or I don't know what's going on. But he's been trying to get into AEW. So maybe just an exhibition match against him will be kind of interesting.
All right, cool. All right, so that's our insight on AEW. Hopefully everybody's enjoying it. We'll definitely be talking more of the result on it on Tuesday, alongside with SmackDown, the pay-per-view, and Raw. So Tuesday is going to be a hell of stuff we're going to be talking about for you guys on that upcoming episode. So what we're going to do for the remaining of the show is something different, something new. Luisito brought this up. Basically, imagine if you could manage a different division in the wrestling world. And I think majority of these are from WWE and AEW.
Yep.
But we're also talking about legends. We're talking about current roster. We're talking about alumni. And basically, you have these 4 options, right? And out of these 4 options, we're going to debate or talk about or maybe agree on, depending on how the tradition go. 3 that we would definitely keep for the division and 1 to leave. So it's similar to Marry, Kiss, and Kill, only that there's only going to be 1 person getting the boot.
Also, just to make it more interesting, just kind of like kick it up a notch, kind of. So we keep 3, and the person that we let go in that bracket, they are everything they have done, it's erased from history.
Yep.
Everything. So it could be a champion that let people. He's gone. So it should be interesting who we pick and who we let go.
All right. And are we doing like? Actually, we don't have a third person to do like an overall decision.
No, but we could have different opinions, which kind of interesting. But if we got the same ones, it'll be kind of funny because we kind of know who the 4 are, but maybe our tastes and dislikes might be a little different.
True. Yeah. All right. So let's start it off. Who is in what division we're starting first with?
We doing stables or factions.
All right. So history. So for those who don't know what that means a group of people who have been part of organization. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like the G Generation X. We're talking about the Shield, the Wyatt family. You know, the New World Order, the Nexus. Those are the type of grouping we're going to be talking about. And who are our 4 options?
So our 4 options, we have the 4 Horsemen. We have Evolution. We have Nation of Domination. And we have the Bullet Club.
WWE Bullet Club or the
New
New
Japan.
Japan
So
Pro
basically, Omega.
Wrestling?
Yeah, Omega, AJ
Ooh.
Styles, Finn Balor, Luke Gallows and Anderson, God, all of them. Basically, all four groups at their peak. So you have Evolution at their peak. You have the Four Horsemen. I know they rotate all the way through, but at their peak, and Nation Domination at their peak.
All right. So with these four options, right? There's two groups that has one common player. And I don't think it's that fair for him to be in both group. The question is, do I go with the one that I'm familiarized, or the one that made him more of a legend? If you guys don't know who I'm talking about Ric Flair. Ric Flair was both part of Evolution and the Four Horsemen. I'm gonna go to what I know,
Okay.
and I'm gonna choose Evolution, Nation of Domination, and Bullet Club. And the Four Horsemen could ride off.
All right. I when I did this, I was like, oh snap, he's in both of them. But so I'm keeping the Four Horsemen because everything they basically created what this era is. Like everybody, NWA back in the day, that was like the stable like wrestling company from back in the day. So most of the people that basically second generation, like Charlotte Flair came, Ric Flair, you have Tully Blanchard, Tessa Blanchard. So a lot of people, second generation wrestlers came from these wrestlers. And I'm also keeping Evolution because I feel without Evolution, we wouldn't have what we have now. And also Ric Flair is part of that. And I am keeping, I know they were important at the era and they trying to replicate them now and it's not coming out as correct. So they had to rebrand the brand, the idea, but I'm keeping the Nation Domination and I'm erasing the Bullet Club from history.
So okay, so I see I see that you focus more based, the common denominator I'm trying to say is WWE. So or NWA. I can see that. Fair enough. Bullet Club, in my personal opinion, even though it was not as big, or did they try to do Bullet Club? They did the OC Club and Balor Club. Yeah. So Bullet Club never made it to WWE. However, it's still one of the consistent stable I have seen for years in New Japan Wrestling. And yeah, I was late to ride on that boat. But again, we have a lot of people from Shinsuke, Finn, AJ,
Omega,
the Good Brothers,
basically the elite,
Kenny, Young Buck,
Cody,
Cody. The list goes on.
No, Jericho never.
No.
He faced them. He faced them. But I feel like I get your point 100%. I agree. They were one of the most dominant faction or group,
consistent,
outside
to this
of
day.
Independent, outside of WWE. But I feel the people that were in the group, they have merits on their own without the group. So if you disband the group, everybody in that group will still be as successful. I feel like in the other groups, I feel like individually, if they were never part of that group, I don't think they would have reached the peaks.
I disagree with Evolution. Okay, so Four Horsemen, again, only reason I got rid of them, even though they are a major factor of wrestling history, I was not a witness of what they were developing at that time. I was not around. So I cannot really say, oh yeah, Four Horsemen, it's the greatest ever, because I didn't witness it personally. But for other people, probably is on your side. Evolution, what you just said, can apply to it, because Evolution, but Batista not being part of the group, he would still been a monster.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be champ. Like, he wouldn't be Batista that we know now. He'd be another big guy, but I don't think with the teaching and the following and kind of like the assistance of Triple H and Ric Flair, I don't think he'll got into the peak that he got. It would have taken longer. You know what I'm saying? It would have taken longer for him to reach that peak. But having Evolution with him, it kind of like rocket.
But Randy Orton also did his thing. I mean, like we definitely got like each person separately would it still work? Imagine if Ric Flair decided to grab Batista on the side without Evolution. You know what I'm saying? Be his coach or be a tag team partner. Still would have been great. It would still be great. But you know, that's not a bad pick to start off the first round. So what's the second round?
We're doing new school women. So basically, keeping account of the four horsewomen. So basically, new school female stars. So we have to either keep 3 and erase 1 from history. Is between Bailey, Becky, Charlotte, or Sasha.
So Charlotte Flair, second generation. I think she almost did it all except for the women's tag team belt. Becky Lynch also as well missing the tag team. I think she was one of the first women to be 2-belt champion. Sasha Banks,
almost everything.
NXT WWE.
I think the only she hasn't gotten was Money in the Bank, maybe, or did she have?
Yeah, I think she missed the Money in the Bank in the Royal Rumble. Bailey won the Royal Rumble.
Everything, except the Royal Rumble. She got everything except the Royal Rumble. Asuka got everything.
I'm surprised Asuka is not on this list.
Yeah.
Asuka should be.
I just wanted to the four of them until it'll be like more difficult to pick because they all connect to each other. You know.
I'm definitely keeping the Flair.
Okay.
Flair is like what she did with Ronda, what she did with the first triple threat match, highlight main event and co-main event in WrestleMania twice. That's pretty amazing. She's always there killing it. Becky, she stepped it up with the new gimmick. The man is surprised what she was able to do within a year of that gimmick. I really enjoy that. Now you're stuck between Sasha or Bailey. And for me, I'm stuck with Sasha or Bailey. Bailey, again, she did it all. Like everything. You know what I'm saying? Sasha definitely is, an eye candy, one of the favorable one,
and she's from over here in New England too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? F the New England. I'm going with Bailey. So Sasha, peace.
I have to second that. I'm picking Charlotte, Becky, Bailey. I feel like everybody has evolved all the way through NXT. They've changed gimmicks. They've gone, they've evolved as a wrestler. Sasha has, but which is not bad. Not nothing against her, but I feel like everybody has more range that we've seen through different gimmicks and different moves, different everything.
And also longer range. Bailey, Becky, and Flair had with their belt. Sasha barely makes it a month being Raw Women's Champion. Or usually she loses.
Yeah, which is kind of annoying.
Defense. And it was just like, what the heck, man? Like, for real. So, all right, cool. So we're in agreement. Sasha Banks, you're deleted.
All right. So we have old school divas or female superstars that used to be known as divas. So we have Lita, Trish Stratus, Chyna, Kelly.
I know a lot of people be like, Kelly, Chyna. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's AJ Lee, there's Eva, there Michelle McCool.
You have Jacqueline, Beth Phoenix. We have other people. I feel like the way, from my train of thought, I feel like Lita and Trish Stratus kind of like were the standard from back in the day. Chyna was the only female until recently that has held a men's championship. She had the Intercontinental. And Kelly, she was a diva, and she's also won the 24/7 championship. So I feel like
to us, the 24 championship is a fucking joke.
True,
so,
but she's at least she had, you could tell, multiple belts.
Kelly gotta go. I took a picture with her. I love you, Kelly. You're amazing. You stay in shape. You're definitely a Barbie. But you got like Luisito said, Chyna is one of the first women to partake in the Royal Rumble and hold the Intercontinental Championship belt. You got to respect that. She was part of the faction of the D-Generation X. Mm-hmm. She was doing like big things for the business. Lita and Trish Stratus, like, come on. You gave them a Raw night to close for the Women's Championship, and they just uplifted that division to a new length that we see nowadays as the Women Revolution.
And also, Lita was part with the Hardy Boys, so she assisted with that. She was also a little bit when they were in the feud with the Dudley Boys, she was also a little bit extreme. So she went through tables. She did a bunch of spots. Same thing with Trish Stratus. She kind of like helped the transition of not the evolution of women's wrestling, but little by little she helped to move them across the goal line to what they're now. So I feel like everybody had that stamp in history, but I feel Kelly, if she got erased from history, of wrestling history, I feel like it still could be told the same. I feel the other three, if you took them out, something's missing.
Ooh, something would not be. It wouldn't feel right. It just wouldn't feel right. All right, that was a really easy one. That was pretty easy. So the women ones, we're in agreement. The faction different. So what's next?
This I think might be a little bit more difficult because I feel the next one's gonna kind of touch us personally, and it's gonna be people here that we like as professionals. It's the tag teams. We have the New Day, we have FTR, Lucha Bros, and the Hardy Boys.
Oh man, and we definitely had the Rock and Roll Express, the Freebirds, Road Warriors, Dudley Boys, Young Bucks, and the Uso. Ooh, I feel like the Young Bucks should have been in this over one of these teams.
That's why I was like the Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, but I'm like Lucha Bros. They've got almost the same accolades. You know what I'm saying? Like they're basically the Latin version of the Young Bucks.
But then at the same time, if we think about it, Young Bucks were more. They've been like, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Similar to FTR, similar to the Hardys. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing with Lucha Bros too.
Everywhere. I honestly, between you and I don't think New Day should have been on the list. In my personal opinion,
they're like the longest reigning. You know what I'm saying? Like I think with the 8-time champion.
8-time champion, longest reigning champions. So let's break it down. Lucha Bros. We're talking about the AAA. We're talking about the Undergrounds. We're talking about the Indies. We're talking about maybe Impact. We're talking about like
Ring of Honor, New Japan,
Ring of Honors. You know what I'm saying?
I think they were part also MLW. I think they're basically every company except WWE.
Oh, even New Japan?
Yeah, they went to New Japan for a little bit. Yeah, especially Pentagon. Yeah, so they travel throughout the world. The only thing they haven't, and especially like everybody knows Cero Miedo. It's like it's ridiculous. Like he's individually, both of them are crazy. Then together, it's like they in the AW they're underutilized at the moment. But when they start hitting their stride, I don't think nobody could beat them as a tag team.
Oh no. Hardy Boys were the match between Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys is one of the tag team matches that we are never going to forget in WrestleMania 17, I believe. And then they try to top it off on the following pay-per-view with SummerSlam. Hardy Boys definitely did it all. Again, the Hardy Boys, except for New Japan, went nearly everywhere. They won it all. Like every tag team you could think of, they probably have it except for New Japan. And it's like you got to give those boys a lot of respect.
And they even they went to TNA and they changed the whole gimmick. Like they went from Hardy Boys to like Broken Hardy, and one was Brother Nero, the other was like Broken Hard. Like it's just like then Matt Hardy was able to evolve. Especially in TNA, he had like 3 gimmicks. He was kind of like what EC3 used to be, like the $1 Million Man kind of. Then you had Broken Matt. Then you also had like Brother Matt. Like they're able to evolve as time and different companies they go through. So that helps. Same thing with FTR. That's an old school wrestling group and New Day wrestling. So it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna be tough. But New Day is something that was birthed in WWE and it might die in WWE.
So who? At least
It is
make
going
it
to,
easy. Who? So I would say for me, I would keep the Hardy Boys.
yes.
So basically, they created a style that all the other three kind of have a little bit of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would keep Lucha Bros
I'm with you. So we're two for
because
two.
of my like heritage and everything. Basically, me watching AAA back in the day and
Mine's two.
stuff and
Mine too.
everything. So now it's FTR against the New Day. I feel for me, if one of the two groups left, like if I never knew of them or see them, I wouldn't be too upset about it. I would say FTR.
I'm going as much as I love Up Up Down Down and the New Day podcast and all. Uh, damn, that does bring me entertainment.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm
Um,
like. That's why I'm keeping. I'm letting go FTR because I feel like they. I've seen they're special individuals. They're a great tag team, but I feel like we've seen styles like them before, and I feel like they basically
but
took
as
stuff.
successful as FTR,
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like for example, like the Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, similar like wrestling style, and if you go back to the '80s, early '90s, '80s, a lot of wrestlers wrestled like them a little bit. So it's basically you have to put people like different groups together to make them like as them as individuals. But I feel like they have a retro style. I feel like the New Day, they they individually they're great. Then together they're even better. Then they were able to kind of break barriers through like Kofi Kingston winning finally took so long to win. Then they are able to like blend with each other, kind of like since all three could switch out for tag teams. So you have variety in style. And they made this New Day. Remember when it first came out, I was like, whoa. Like they had a choir. So now what they are. So they've been able to evolve throughout the years. So I feel like if you take the New Day out of the tag team division, I feel like something's missing. Knowing the stuff that I know now. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't have the Uso and New Day battles. You won't have them as the 9 time, the most winning as championship like in WWE. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. I know it's tough, but who you got?
I'm gonna keep the brothers, the New Day podcast, the history that they did, the um, the accolades itself. You know, being three black African Americans wrestlers, breaking barriers, and definitely Hall of Famers for sure, for sure. FTR, I mean, I love you guys, but you're deleted.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, that was pretty tough. I mean, if the Young Bucks was in there, New Day may
Yeah.
got in the boots.
That's also like let me balance it out. At least where you have like two AEW and two WWE.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking all the ones that we had kind of in our list was the Usos. We had like Freebirds. We have
those were
other
great.
yeah, but I was like Usos are great, but I feel like we haven't seen them almost in a year. And
Oh
I'm saying that,
well,
but I'm saying
they're
they're
coming.
coming. But you know what I'm saying? But like we don't miss like if we see them, great. But like if they're not on TV, it's like oh snap, we don't like it. You don't miss them until you see them back. So it's like that presence is not there. So I feel like the New Day kind of for me that's why they kind of earned the spot there in the kind of top four tag teams. There's all the tag teams of course, but I didn't want to repeat people from the '90s. I think we had the Dudley Boys as well. So either Dudley Boys or the Hardy Boys.
Okay.
So the next one, I think this might be a little bit easy, but I feel like I picked a little bit from. They're all former or current WWE stars. It's the heavyweight championship or heavyweight champions. I grab a little bit from each era. So we have, Eddie Guerrero, Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, and Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm.
I don't
So it's
feel.
like I feel like this is kind of like when you play rock paper scissors shoot, like one beats the other.
Yeah, but Randy Orton should not have been on the list, and the reason why I say he should not have been on the list because between Triple H, Kurt Angle, who won heavyweight belts,
Multiple
around the
times.
world, or a person that I'm not seeing the list right now and is blinking out on my head. Oh my God, what's his name again? Jesus Christ. It's John Cena.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying. I was like, John Cena, Randy Orton, that's another one. But I feel like I wanted to make it in a way that like one beat the other. You know what I'm saying? Like one without the other. I know Randy Orton, he's won double champion at one point, and he was.
So did Cena.
Yeah, true. So we could, I could add Cena to the, or Cena, but because even now,
All right, in the list we also have Moxley for AEW. We got Drew McIntyre, who's doing a hell of a job in the Indies, and also WWE currently. Triple H, I believe he's a 14-time heavyweight champion. Undertaker, legend himself, been doing it for nearly 4 decades. Edge, hell of a entertainer, not the greatest wrestler, but hell of an entertainer with the belt, great matches. And Kurt Angle himself, like I said, he's been everywhere. But we're talking about Brock Lesnar, Jericho, Randy Orton, and Eddie Guerrero, right? If Jericho is the first undisputed champion when he defeated Stone Cold and The Rock for each belt.
He's the oldest and the first AEW champion. He used to be a cruiserweight back in the day. He's been a tag team champion.
Cruiser. We're talking about heavyweight.
But I'm saying, but like, just name me some accolades that he had.
But we're talking about heavyweights. Like, let's focus more on the matches that he had.
So he had the undisputed one. He has the AEW one. I don't think he's won the WWE, but he's won basically one even better because he was two belts in one. So
he also went to Japan. He did won a championship over there too. I think it's their version of the Intercontinental one. Heavyweight. So Jericho is a major factor in wrestling history. Wherever he went, he brought the crowd, he brought money. Jericho, definitely, I'm keeping him no matter what. He's definitely like, I'm holding that with my Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. So Brock Lesnar became heavyweight champion when he defeated The Rock. And I believe it was Unforgiven back in 2001 or 2000. Yeah, 2001.
I think he was probably one of the youngest
or 2000.
At the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. He was the youngest one to ever win the heavyweight belt at that time. He almost broke his neck facing Kurt Angle. He had some great WrestleMania moment. Still active with WWE.
He got the streak done. UFC. He got the streak. The streak is, he got one over the Undertaker. The streak.
Yeah, but I agreed with who we had as a guest earlier when he said that win was kind of unnecessary.
Okay.
It would have been more sense if Roman Reigns would have done it than Brock, but he did destroy the streak. Again, he is a Hall of Famer in both UFC and WWE, in my personal opinion. Then you got Randy Orton. I believe he is currently still the youngest heavyweight champion to win the belt. Who he defeated, I think
it probably was Triple H. Probably one.
It was probably Triple H
during Evolution time.
Okay, during again, he's a 13-time heavyweight champion. His matches with Edge, John Cena, Triple H are definitely legendary. And then Eddie Guerrero, man.
This was like play the string of your heart. I was like, just.
I'm keeping Eddie, no matter what. I'm sorry, Eddie is forever. Viva la Raza. I'm not gonna remove him from this list. So Jericho is locked in. Eddie Guerrero is locked in. You know what I'm saying? God, 13-time champion.
Oh, the beast.
They're both Hall of Famers.
It's just wrestling, wrestling history. So it's like I kind of have my choice, but
when I think of a heavyweight, like body type, Brock has it.
Mm-hmm.
Most performance goes to Randy Orton. Memorable matches,
I would say it's a tie, sort of, because each of them have their own style, and like that also depending who they face. You know what I'm saying? And one of them is currently still going for the title at this time.
I mean, they both could.
Yeah,
like
but
Brock could just hop on a plane and just wreck everything just for the fun of it. Brock is a Money in the Bank. So is Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I will say that Randy doesn't have over Brock, it's a WrestleMania moment against Undertaker. That's about it.
Okay, but he had WrestleMania moments.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like something like that of that great magnitude. Like he's won championship at WrestleMania and stuff, but I feel like something that's like one thing, like one.
I mean, okay, but Randy Orton had to face again Jinder Mahal over and over and over.
But it wasn't his fault. But yeah, it was. He had to go.
Like, Randy Orton had to do some matches that was like unforgivable, but yet he did the best he could. Brock was in some stupid matches except
Kofi Kingston.
That squash. Oh God. That was an embarrassment for Kofi. You know that they really wanted for Kofi to lose the belt the next day that quick?
Yeah, that was just like, nah, like. And they did everything in their power to like get him to lose. Like everything from WrestleMania until I think he had to face Brock Lesnar. There was a match for him to lose no matter what. And he pulled it off.
With Randy Orton, there was like storytelling though.
Yeah. And
Randy Orton is a hell of a promoter. He does not need no one else to speak for him.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
All right, what you think about it? I'm gonna give you a second. Well, so for me, I would keep Jericho. He's the Jericho and all the faces of Jericho. So I'm going from the Lion Tamer all the way to what we have now. He back in when he used to be in Mexico. Not a Lion Tamer, but like that was his nickname, Lion Tamer. I'm keeping Eddie. Definitely he went from being a cruiserweight, bumping up to a heavyweight and defeating Brock Lesnar for the title, and that's probably one of the best moments of wrestling, period. And all the feuds that he had with people. I would keep Randy Orton because of generations, evolution, and everything. Brock Lesnar, I feel like if he never stepped into the ring of WWE, I feel like history can be told without Brock Lesnar, and I feel he'd still be successful outside either UFC career or some other type of career. I feel like he'll be successful outside of WWE or wrestling altogether. I feel the three that I picked are a good pick. It's tough, but I feel like history can be told without Brock Lesnar.
So, fun fact, both Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar did started near the same time.
Mm-hmm. I think they did OVW.
Yeah, they both were in the same indies before they were called over. Randy Orton is a second generation wrestler. Brock Lesnar was just a fucking monster. Again, I'm going to have to side with Luisito on this. I'm going to have to go with Randy Orton. Mostly because of the storytelling, the consistency, professionalism. Even though he had an opportunity to walk out and join AEW, he still was a WWE through and through. Brock, you could eliminate his accolades in the wrestling profession, but with what he did during his high school, college, UFC, dude, the guy is set. And he fucking married stable guys. The end. Randy Orton is my last pick.
I feel like if Brock Lesnar could talk or by himself, like be good at promo.
Never.
You know what I'm saying? If that was one of his talent, besides him being, you know, super strong and athleticism, he would have taken over, like, my pick instead of Randy Orton. But I feel like him needing somebody to speak for him, I feel kind of that's one of my, like, handicaps for him for not picking him.
Don't feel bad. I think that was a good move from you. Good move from you. All for right. Sure.
And I feel like I wanted to leave the best for last because this one of kind of a good category. Basically the best talkers or the best app promo. We have The Rock, MJF, Chris Jericho, and Ric Flair.
Honorable mentions. We do have Stone Cold, Steve Austin. We got Randy Savage, Macho Man himself, John Cena, Triple H, Play the Game, Dusty Rhodes, classic. CM Punk though. Ooh, I would definitely trade CM Punk for maybe, like, Ric Flair is great, but CM Punk though, he hit him hard.
But I feel like without Flair, he's the beginning of everything. I feel without Flair, we won't have a CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? Or we won't have none of the guys in this list if there was no Flair. But maybe we would have The Rock because, you know, his dad was wrestling back in the day too. But
yeah,
but I don't think The Rock would be The Rock if Flair wasn't here.
Okay, so again, we talked about Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? Chris Jericho, as soon as he come in, first person he went after was The Rock, and hell of a promo from there. WCW heavyweight as well. Been doing his thing for years, guys. Years. There's not a single thing that this man cannot sell. You give him a Christmas light up scarf, he'll sell it. You tell him to make up a stupid name of a group and call it, you know, the Inner Circle, and, you know, sell champagne, he'll sell it.
The list, the scarf, anything he touches is money. Anything, it's crazy.
It does. His mind, his mouth just do, like, they are like coexisting 24/7. It's a beautiful thing. So Chris Jericho definitely, to me, got the stamp of approval for sure. Ric Flair, like Luisito said, he's the godfather. You know what I'm saying? He's the man that brought people to watch wrestling. He said things that people was like, what? And you know, he was the man of business. You know what I'm saying? Ric Flair played both face and heel, maybe at the same time, and we still ate that because that's how good he was in promo. Till this day, at the age of, during the Evolution time, he was like nearly in his like late 40s, early 50s.
Evolution? I think he was 50, late 50s. I think now he's 70 something. So I'll say 20 years. Let's say Evolution's 2000, early late 2000s, so that's almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, like
so 50 something,
early 50s. That's the man was still like spitting bars, even when he said his goodbyes with Randy Orton. That promo, it's untouchable to me.
I have to send you the link. He went again. When he went to TNA for a little bit. It was him and I forgot the guy's name.
But he went to TNA, still became a WWE Hall of Famer. What the
him and the other guy, I forgot the guy's name at the moment, but he was mimicking and copying Ric Flair, and they will basically had a flare off against each other. It was the funniest.
It was JTG.
No, it was Jay Lethal. That's the guy. Oh. Thank you. So Jay Lethal and Ric Flair, that's probably one of the best promos out there. Hilarious. It was the best thing ever. And basically, Jay Lethal, him doing his thing, and Ric Flair kind of giving him the blessing to mimic him, because Ric Flair doesn't let anybody do Ric Flair. And it was probably one of the best thing ever. And Ric Flair, all the promos that he had from early 80s, 70s until now, that's like 40 years, 45 years of just doing promos. He's gotten better and better as time went through. It's just crazy.
I mean, I'm surprised you don't have the Miz. Miz is definitely a top talker as well from generation to generation. I think because of his mouth, is what really kept him in being one of the favorable Grand Slam champion ever, but he's not on the list. So Ric Flair, he got an automatic in my book. Jericho automatic. So then we have The Rock and MJF. MJF, I don't know much about him. He's definitely new. He's AEW, but he's like our future trash talker promo that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put him against anybody currently. I mean, maybe The Miz could go toe-to-toe, maybe Samoa Joe.
I would like to see him go against Chris Jericho.
Or EC3. Put him with EC3 in a promo, like, shootout. MJF definitely could, stand on his own, and it's a beautiful thing. His promos, like what he's doing now to help out with the Jon Moxley matchup, it's so far is golden. You know what I'm saying? And this is only his growth. This is not even his peak. This is his growth. So that means once he's at his peak, dude, him and Jericho definitely got to battle out. Definitely got to battle out for sure. However, ain't no way in hell, in the blue hell, as this man once said, that you could beat me, you candy, Putin, jabroni, eyes blazing, electrifying people champ of the world. I mean, what The Rock have done in the early 2000s when he won the champion during the 9/11, dude, the guy was money. Like, everything that The Rock touches during that Attitude Era was gold. He worked with the best. He worked with Stone Cold. He worked with Triple H. He worked with Undertaker. He even made fun of Rikishi and made him look good. Mankind, Vince McMahon.
I think that even currently, he kind of made fun of King Corbin helping the man out, Becky Lynch. Like, anytime he comes back, it's just like he never left. And all the catchphrase, like, it's just, that's what, like,
know your role and shut your mouth. It doesn't matter what you think. Jabroni, he had a t-shirt with the word jabroni. Chris Jericho and The Rock are the only two that I could think of that could go toe-to-toe with merch ideas. And it could be a tie. It could be a tie because they're just like boom, 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 boom. It's just amazing. So, MJF, you get the boot in my book. The Rock is definitely staying on. So it's Rick, Chris Jericho, The Rock.
Same here. MJF, I feel like he's doing a great promos in AEW. Kind of, I had to, like I mentioned before, I kind of had to fact check myself. He's not copying, but making what other people have done in promos and made it modern and better. But I feel like everybody else has more originality. They have more experience. They could make doo-doo into gold. Like, Jericho, like, he's making matches out of nowhere. Stampede, we have the champagne, like, mimosa thing. Like, it's crazy. The Demo God, like, Le Champion, the list, and go so on and so forth. Like, and Ric Flair's Ric Flair, The Rock. It's just like, I wish he would have stayed longer in wrestling, but the times that he's there, he's present, he's giving you 100%. MJF, I feel like he's still a little early. I think he's in early 20s, early 30s, 20s. I feel
isn't his growth.
I feel like he's still got time to grow and become one of the best ones out there. He's still got time.
Now, I'll tell you this. If you would have put CM Punk, John Cena, or Triple H, not much Triple H.
No.
I mean, Triple H had some great
if I would have put CM Punk instead of MJF, that would have been hard. But I feel like I would have booted out CM Punk because he's done great promos, but I feel like if it wasn't for the pipe bomb, I feel like he would have been great at promos, but he wouldn't be one of the best at promos. Besides that pipe bomb, I feel like everything else was just like, it was great, but it wasn't like, mind blowing.
And what about Austin 316?
That's also the same thing with he reminds me a little bit of what Hulk Hogan used to do back in the day. I feel like for him it was great, but I feel like if repetitive. I feel like everybody else that we have here besides NJF, I feel like they have more originality. I feel like Stone Cold did more. He did great promos and stuff, but I feel like his was more action-based promos rather than just mic work. You know what I'm saying? He kind of expressed himself through physicality. He did his promo stuff, but I feel like just without him touching anybody, I feel like he might be a notch below everybody else on the list. This list besides MJF.
The ones that we kept.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. That's a great closing note right there. So there you guys have it. I'm not sure if we have like a collage or anything to post on our Providence Lucha Talk on Insta and Facebook and Twitter for you guys to follow through and, share your opinion. Give us your thoughts, give us the happy face, thumbs up, the angry face, whatever emoji that is out there. And, let's talk about it. We definitely want to hear your opinion. If you think one of the honorable mentions should have been in the top 4 or the option for this game, let us know. We definitely want to hear from you. Again, you can definitely follow us on the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Providence Lucha Talk, all right? As well as you go to hear our content on audio on Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts. I'm not sure if you have any last words for us.
And also, our YouTube is up to date, so everything basically since May on, everything's up to date. So if you guys want to rewatch any of our old episodes, go hit us, subscribe, like, share on our YouTube as well. So a lot of work has been put into this, so we appreciate all the support and likes and shares, all the reactions. Any reactions, good reaction.
Any reactions, good reaction. So Providence Lucha Talk, we thank you. Thank you for listening, and we say good night.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.